we complete with decision control structure in R programming. I already explained you how to solve or how to write script using R programming based on decision control structure. Today we'll discuss about loop control structure in R. So here R supports three loop control structures: while loop, a repeat loop, and for loop. So all you are already aware about loop control structures. Loop are basically used to execute some instruction several times. So whatever the instructions you write in loop control structure, those instructions get executed repeatedly many times. So first we will discuss about the while loop. The syntax of while loop is given here. It begins with keyword while followed by condition in round bracket. Then after that you are supposed to specify the body of the while loop, the statement part, actual statement part, what you want to execute repeatedly in curly brackets, opening and closing curly bracket. So when this while loop gets executed, first this test expression will be evaluated. Computer will first check whether the text expression is true or false. If it is true, then statement part gets executed. After executing the statement part completely, again for next iteration, the text expression will be tested for true or false. If it is again true, second time this statement part will get executed, and this will happen repeatedly many times as long as this text expression is true. So for each and every iteration, first this text expression is evaluated. It is checked whether that text expression is true or false. If it is true, then only then the statement part will get executed. And as soon as the text expression becomes false, while loop will be terminated. Okay, so this syntax is very similar with the syntax of C language. So whatever program you write last year while using C programming language, same syntax, same concept you can use while writing the script in R programming. For example, I will show you one program how to write R script using while loop. So this program just illustrates how to display numbers from 1 to 10 using while loop. Let me open the R programming. Write new script here. So suppose if I want to display starting from 1 up to 10, so I will use here one variable, say A, whose initial value will be 1. So A is equal to 1. Then I can use while loop to display the numbers from 1 to 10. So after while keyword, I can specify the condition like A less than or equal to 10. As I want to display starting from 1 to 10, this is the condition. And here A is the loop control variable. This A variable will control the execution of this while loop. When this while loop executes first time, I want to display this value of A on the screen as the output. So cat method, which is an output function which is used to display the value of variable. So cat A. Now when this while loop will get executed second time, so second number it is to be displayed. Okay? the value of a1, we'll use here a is equal to a plus 1. Make sure that in R programming no increment and decrement operators are available. So you can update the value of a by using the expression a is equal to a plus 1. And that's all. These are the two instructions that I need to execute repeatedly many times. Okay. So this updation statement is important here. So there are two purposes of updating the value of a. It is used to display the next number in the say series, and after some iteration this condition will become false. Due to this updated value of a, after several iterations this condition will become false, and due to that this while loop will be terminated. So that's all. Only 4 instructions. By using only 4 instructions you can display that series of numbers from 1 to 10 using while loop. Okay, no need to declare variable. Okay, no need to include any header files. Directly use the variable, specify the while loop to perform some task repeatedly. So let me save the script, then we'll execute. To execute the program, we for the resource that are programmed. So as output, you will give number 1 to 10 as output. So here, this is the output of this while. If you write here a less than or equal to 10, so up to 10 numbers will get displayed. Now the output is 1 to 10. Okay, so in this way you can use while loop while writing the script. The second loop is repeat loop. So repeat loop in R you can construct by using the keyword repeat, and it is a way to construct infinite loop in R. Infinite loop in R you can create by using the repeat keyword. So infinite loop, the loop which will never get terminated. Such type of loop we can call it as an infinite loop. So such type of infinite loop that will never terminate. Such type of loop we can create by using the repeat keyword. So whatever the statement you write in say this repeat loop, those instructions will get executed repeatedly many times, infinite times. Okay, and in order to terminate the loop, you can use break statement with a valid condition to terminate the loop inside the loop control structure. In order to terminate this repeat loop, you can use condition. You can use if decision controls inside the loop as a instruction, and if the condition is specified by using break statement, you can break or terminate that particular repeat loop. Okay, so no need to specify the condition when you use the repeat loop, as we specify condition for while loop. After while loop, you are supposed to specify the test expression. So as long as this test expression is true, while loop will get executed repeatedly, and as soon as the test expression becomes false, while loop will be terminated. So for while loop, it is mandatory to specify the condition of text expression. No such text expression is mandatory while using this repeat loop. Simply you can construct by using repeat keyword, use the body of the repeat loop using curly brackets, write the statement inside that curly brackets. Those statements will get executed repeatedly many times, not many times, infinite times. But if you want to terminate this repeat loop based on some user defined condition, then if decision control structure you can use inside the repeat loop as the instruction part. Use if with a proper condition. Okay, logically you can write the condition over here when the loop should that a is equal to 1. So repeat, print a is equal to a plus 1. So only two instructions are there in this repeat loop. Okay, print a. So when this loop get executed first time, the value of a, which is 1, will be displayed, and the value of a increased by 1, so it becomes 2. Then next iteration of repeat loop begins. For next iteration, again no condition will be tested, directly loop will get executed. So second time the value of a 2, which will be displayed as the output. Then a increased by 1, a becomes 3. Then third iteration of the repeat loop begins. No condition will be tested here because you don't specify any condition here. No need to specify the condition, as it is an infinite loop. Okay. So these two tasks will be performed infinite times. So this program will never terminate. If I execute this program will never terminate. Okay. It just prints a series of numbers starting from 1 onwards. Okay. So we'll try to execute this script. So numbers are here printed infinite times. So now this will never stop. Now in order to terminate this program, I must manually close this window so that the execution will get stopped. One separate button is provided here to stop or to terminate this R programming. So some modifications are required in that script so that manually you can set when this repeat loop should terminate, and for that you can use this condition here. So when this loop should get terminated, if the value of a is less than or equal to 10, say, or say greater than 10. When the value of a exceeds 10, this if loop will become true, or this if statement will become true, which will cause the execution of break statement, and break statement will terminate this loop. Still we are uh, supposed to learn this break statement later, but as all you are already aware about the break statement, which is used to terminate the loop, the statement you can use over here inside the if. When break statement get executed, it will cause the termination of this repeat loop. Now if we execute the script again, now it will only display up to 10.
सर तुमचा आवाज नाही येते.
Okay. Any doubt up to this, students? Any doubt in repeat loop? Now the program display 1 to 10. Then third loop is for loop. So syntax of for loop is like this. There are some changes. Okay, as we specify three things in the for loop: initialization, condition, and updation. No such three things we are supposed to specify in for loop. For our programming, the syntax is like for loop variable in sequence. After for keyword in round bracket, you are supposed to specify the loop control variable, followed by in keyword, followed by sequence. Sequence of numbers or vectors you can specify. Vector is nothing but collection of or sequence of values. Okay. And then statement parts of the for loop. So this statement part will get executed as long as the value of loop control variable is available in the sequence. Okay. How this for loop will get executed? As long as the value of this loop control variable is available in the sequence, statement part will get executed repeatedly many times. And suppose the value of this loop control variable, if suppose it is not available in the sequence, whatever you specify here, at that time this for loop will get terminated. Okay, so method to specify the syntax of using for loop in the R program. For loop variable, you can initialize any value to the loop control variable. After that, specify the in keyword as it is. After in keyword, specify sequence of values, or you can specify the vectors. Still, you are supposed to learn vectors. Okay, after this, you will learn vector data structure. Vector is nothing but sequence or collection of values of same type. Okay, so vector is nothing but a collection or sequence of values. So any sequence of values or vectors or the data structure which consists of sequence of values, you can write over here. Okay. And then statement part of the for loop. So when the statement part will get execute, if the value of this loop variable is, if it is available for specific iteration, if the value of this loop control variable, if it is available in the sequence or in a vector, statement part will get executed. If the value of loop control variable is available in sequence, means we can say the condition is true. Okay, and you know that for loop, if the condition is true, statement part get executed. And if the value of this loop control variable, if it is not available in the sequence, means it becomes false. And when the condition is false, for loop will be terminated. Okay, for example, we'll try to write a script by using our for loop. So suppose if again same program, if I have to display starting from 1 to 10. So a is equal to 1, variable a is equal to 1. Now use the for loop. So the syntax of for loop is what? For variable in sequence. So here I am using loop control variable as a variable. So for a, followed by in keyword as it is, and after that you are supposed to specify sequence of values or vectors. Okay. Say suppose, and I can specify the sequence of values like this by using this range slice operator using colon 1 colon 10. Okay, so this is a lower limit before the colon, and after the colon this is the upper limit. So this method represents sequence of values from 1 to 10. Okay, these are the sequence of values. So this for loop will get executed as long as the value of this loop control variable is available in the sequence. And for each and every iteration, it takes the next number from the sequence. Automatically the value of A will get increased by 1. No need to increase the value of A. Okay, simply if I write only one instruction inside this for loop, cat A, the value of A will get displayed. When this for loop will get executed next time, for next iteration A will get increased by 1 automatically. This happens automatically. No need to increase the value of A by 1. Okay, so second time the value of A will be 2, and that 2 will be checked whether it is available in the sequence or not. Yes, 2 is available in the sequence. So condition is true. Again catch statement get executed, the statement part will get executed, it will display the value of A, which is 2. Then next iteration begins for the for loop automatically. And for the next iteration the value of A will be considered as 3. And for this iteration as 3 is in the sequence 1 to 10. So again it is true. So as it is the condition is true, statement part will get executed, it will display the value of A, which is 3. Next iteration begins. After that next iteration begins. For next iteration the value of A will be 4. Again that value of A 4 is in the sequence. Yes, the value 4 is available in the sequence. So the condition become true. For will get executed. So this will happen repeatedly as long as the value of this loop control variable is available in the sequence. This for will get executed repeatedly. But as soon as the value of A becomes 11 or exceeds 10, the next new value of A that's not available in the sequence. At that time, for loop will be terminated. And that's why only up to 1 to 10 will get displayed. Okay? So if you go to the output of the script, it will display 1 to 10 on the screen as the output. Here is the output of this program for 1.r. 1 to 10. Okay? So just remember the syntax. This syntax only we are supposed to use while writing the script using for loop. Okay? For loop control variable in sequence of values. Okay? So as long as the value of this loop control variable is available in this sequence, for loop will get executed. And one more important thing, for each and every iteration, automatically the next value of that loop control variable is say is used to check whether that value is available in the sequence or not. No need to increase the value of A by 1. For each and every iteration, automatically the loop control variable increases by 1. Okay, you can also use here say a vector. Vector you can create by using C function in R programming. Say suppose if I am creating here the vector B or say V1, V1 is equal to C of 5, 7, 8. So I can write like this for A in V1. Okay, so when I write for A in V1, uh, so actually when you specify the sequence of values here, first number in the sequence is assigned to that loop control variable first. First number in the sequence is assigned to A variable. Okay, so when I write for A in V1, where V1 is a vector with 3 values. Okay, Vector you can create by using C function. So V1 is equal to C of 4, 7, 8. So in vector there are three numbers available. Collection of three values, 4, 7 and 8. I can execute this for loop by using this vector V1. Like when I write for A in V1. Okay, so here A is a loop control variable in keyword followed by sequence of values. So this is a syntax. This syntax is supposed to use while writing the script using for. Now, how this for loop will get executed? When this for loop executes first time, the first number in the vector will be assigned to a variable. Okay, first number within the vector. So first number of the vector is 4. That 4 will get assigned to a variable. Okay, and then cat function will display that number. Then there is the end of the for loop. Then next iteration begins. For next iteration, second number in the vector will be assigned to a variable. Okay, and as that number is available in the vector, so second number will get displayed. When for loop will execute third time, third number within a vector that will be assigned to a variable. Okay, then cat function will display that number. And for next iteration, no number are available in the vector. So for this iteration now, the for loop will get terminated. So our for loop will display these three numbers as output on the 4, 7 and 8. Okay, so the output will be 4, 7 and 8. You shows that our program output 4, 7 and 8 get displayed. Take any doubt, students, in for loop? Any doubt? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay. So here we complete with the loop control structure. Now we'll solve practical exercise question based on this loop control structure. Let me open the lab book, practical lab book. So I already explained you this practice set questions. All the practice set questions are based on decision control structures only. Okay. So first program already explained here. Let's go to the set A questions. Write a program to calculate sum of digits of a given input number. Now, so such type of program you can solve using the loop control structure because three instructions are there, three tasks are there that you are supposed to perform repeatedly many times in order to solve this program. Now, the program logic is already explained to you in first year. Same logic you are supposed to use here to calculate sum of all digits of a given input number. Now, one while loop is required. The logic is what? After accepting the input number, you are supposed to separate all the digits, and there is only one logic is available to separate the digit. Divide the number by 10 and take the remainder. Okay. So first you are supposed to separate all the digits of a given input number. As soon as you separate the digit, you are supposed to add in the sum variable. Okay. In this way, if you repeat this process, you can separate all the digits. All separate digits need to be added in sum variable. When loop terminates, you are supposed to display the value of sum, which is our required output of the program. is, so first we'll accept input number from the user. Input number will store in n variable. So n is equal to, a readline function is used to accept the number from the user. So readline function, and while reading the input, you can prompt some messages on the screen. Prompt equal to enter any number. So this readline method will accept one number from the user. That input number will be stored in n variable. But by default, readline function read the input in character format. Okay. So even if you give number as the input, that number will be stored as character in n variable. So for that, you need to convert that number into integer while reading. So by using as dot integer, you can convert the input into integer. N is equal to as dot integer readline prompt enter any number. So when you execute this script, first you are supposed to give some number as the input to the computer. Then one variable says some unique value must be 0. Okay? Because as we are supposed to calculate sum of all digits, we'll use this variable sum. Unique value must be 0. Now one task is there that separate the digit and add the separated digit in sum. These two tasks we need to perform repeatedly. So while loop is required. So while, okay, and the condition for this, while n is greater than 0. So when we divide the number, the value will reduce. Like if initial value is 10, if we divide, it will get reduced 10, 5. At some point, the value of n will become 0. And as soon as the value of n becomes 0, this while loop should get terminated. And that's why the condition is while n greater than 0. So if this condition is true, what you are supposed to do, first separate the last digit of the input number. In order to calculate the sum of all digits, you are supposed to separate the last digit. And how you can separate the last digit? If any number divided by 10, and if we take the remainder of that division, that remainder will be always the last digit. Okay? So last digit will store in d variable. So d is equal to, so we are supposed to divide input number. Input number is in n variable. Divide that input number by 10. Okay? And as we are interested in the remainder, how we can obtain the remainder? Which operator is used for remainder? Which operator I'm supposed to use here? Tell me the symbol.
Double percent.
Correct, double percent. Double percent is the symbol for mod operator. So d is equal to n percent, and you are supposed to divide by 10, not by 2 or 3. Okay? If any number divided by 10, remainder will be always the last digit. Okay? So this instruction will actually separate the last digit of a given input number. D is equal to n mod 10. So as soon as you separate the last digit, add it in some variable. Okay? As you are supposed to calculate sum of all digits. Nah, you are supposed to add the separated digit in previous sum, and that's why the instruction sum is equal to sum plus d. So each every time when this while loop will execute, you are supposed to add the new separated digit in the previous sum. Okay. And that's why the instruction is sum is equal to sum plus d. Okay, so suppose input number is suppose 123. Input number is suppose 123. When this while loop will execute first time, 123 will be divided by 10. So we'll get remainder as 3. Okay. So that 3 means last digit is separated here, that last digit will be added in sum. Now, next time we are supposed to separate 2. 3 already separated. In order to separate 2, same while loop will be used for that. So, but for that, next iteration the value of n must be 12. Okay. So if 12 divided by 10, you can easily separate 2. This last digit. So how to modify 123 to 12? The new modified value of n must be 12 now. So that instruction n is equal to n. Now which operator I'm supposed to use here? 123 should get modified to 12. Now the input number is suppose 123, it should get modified to 12. So which operator I should use here? Floor division. It's floor division operator. Okay, not only division operator, because division operator अगर यहाँ पे use किया तो जो question part है वो decimal point में मिल जाएगा ना, 12 point something. We require exact 12. So for that you can use floor division operator, and the floor division operator is %/%. So divide that n by 10 using floor division operator. So this instruction will actually modify 123 to 12, and that's all. This is the end of the while loop. So next time when while loop will execute, new value of n will be 12, and 12 is greater than 0. Okay, so 12 will be divided by 10. So when 12 divided by 10, we'll get the last digit as 2. So that 2 will be added in the previous sum. Then again n will modify it. 12 will be divided by 10, question part will get as 1 due to this instruction. 12 modifies to 1. Then third iteration of while loop begins. The condition is true. 1 will be divided by 10, remainder will be 1 as it is. So last digit also separated. Okay, that last digit will be added in sum. And this instruction will modify 1 to 0. When 1 divided by 10, question part you will get 0. And for next iteration, this condition will become false, and due to this while loop will be terminated. Now the output need to be printed. Okay, so that output should get displayed only once. So after this while loop, when while loop terminates, you are supposed to display the output. So that instruction must be outside the while loop. Sum of digits equal to. After that, the value of sum should get displayed. The final value of sum variable is our expected output. Okay, so this is the main logic. These three tasks need to be performed repeatedly many times. Okay, and when this while loop terminates, the value of sum is nothing but our expected output. Okay, so we'll save this program. Now to execute the program, we'll show that program. So as soon as you execute the program, first that it will accept one number from the user as input. As we write first instruction in the script using read line method, n is equal to a read line. We enter any number. Suppose one input number is 123, so sum of digits is equal to 6. Because in this number 123 digits are there, 1, 2, and 3. So sum of all these 3 digits is 6. If you again execute the program, enter new number, so 4568, 67. So the sum of all digits is 22. So according to the output. Okay, any doubt students in this program?
No, sir.
No, sir.
You can take the screenshot of this program. in this way, you are supposed to solve all these 5 questions. All these 5 questions you can solve by using loop control structure rule. ठीक है, यहाँ पे आपको फर्स्ट प्रोग्राम में सिग्निफिकेंटली डिस्प्ले करना है अप टू एन टर्म. ठीक है, फॉर प्रोग्राम नंबर 3 you are supposed to check whether input number is Armstrong or not. For fourth program, check whether input number is perfect or not. And for fifth program, display multiplication table of a given input number. Accept one number and display the multiplication of that particular number. Okay. So all these programs are already explained in first year. You already solved all these programs in first year in C through C programming language. Same program you are supposed to implement here in our program. Okay. Actually, these programs are included here as a separate assignment just to be familiar with the loop and decision control structure. When we will perform data analysis, while writing the script based on data analysis, you may have to use loop control structure, you may have to use decision control structure. So at that time, you must know how to use while loop, how to use repeat loop. Okay. So try to solve all these questions, try to do the practice of while, do while, repeat loop, if, nested if, and so on. Okay. So today we'll stop here. Next lecture we'll discuss about functions, how to create functions in our program, how to create user-defined function in our program. Okay. So you can take the screenshot of all these programs. Try to solve this program today only. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the next lecture. Now, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Any doubt in today's topic?
No, sir.
No, sir. Okay. So today we'll stop here.